Hari Om. A small analysis on the 16th sloka of the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. 16th sloka in the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The sloka goes like this. अनेक चित्त विभ्रांताः मोहजाल समावृताः प्रसक्ताः कामभोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु च अनेक चित्त विभ्रांताः मोहजाल समावृताः प्रसक्ताः कामभोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु च. So what is this? अनेक चित्त विभ्रांताः. भ्रांति विभ्रांता. Two words. Bhranti, it's an illusion. Vibhrantaha, again there's a difference. So carried away. And mohajala samavritha. So all these illusions, they keep the man in a cage. Mohajala, jala means cage. And mohajala samavritha. Prasakta kama bhogeshu patanti narakeshu. So here again after enjoying all these, so they it will be very difficult for the people to come out of this cage, and so again they will be enduring the life and death cycles. So here now aneka chitta vibhrantaha. What is this? Aneka means not ekam, anekam. So what is this? What is this anekam? So here let us say that man, he likes power, he likes name, he likes fame. So once a man gets name, once a man gets power, what happens? So power is corruption. More power, more corruption, isn't it? So in the same way, if man gets a name, so again he feels that his name must be, again he must get the name. So one time getting the name is not sufficient for man, because man's greed is so much. Again we come to the point that man is barely 6 feet tall, but his ambition is more up to the galaxies. So he, in such a stage, in such a situation, when man gets a name, he will be applauded, he will be awarded, he won't be rewarded. There's a lot of difference between awards and rewards. So he will be awarded. So once he gets awarded, his mind will be, he is bound by that name itself, which gives him fame. He becomes fame with the name. So what happens? Indirectly it means that he is caught in a cage of name. So here the name, the fame, the status, the power, the wealth, the rich, then the respect what he gets. That means whether people really respect him or no, we don't know. But suppose by his name or fame, if people get up, people of high reputation also, if they get up and put for him namaste, bas, it's over. He will be caught in the cage of that fame and name. And so all his life he will be trying for that only. He wants that again and again. So what again, when I will be applauded, when again I'll be appreciated, when I'll be awarded again. So here, as is previously said, the name, the fame, the status, the position, the power, all these are the cages, different types of cages. So actually, man itself is bound by bondages. The moment man is born, he is bound by bondage. Bondage of parents, bondage of grandparents, bondage of children, bondage of friends, bondage of relatives. So what not? Bondage of pet animals, everything. So these are all, they are, that means he can't avoid, because it is his duty and responsibility. Bondage for the parents, he has to look after them, he has to take care of them, he must do his duties, he must discharge his responsibilities. So even for children also, or even for his wife, or wife for her husband. So these no one can avoid, because man is bound by bondages. These bondages, what they do, that means they are karmas. And we all know that karmas itself are polluted, really, in fact. So karmas are not pure. Karmas are polluted. Karmas actually, they are, they take man to somewhere where he doesn't know where he stands. Because karmas are born by karmas only again. When the karmas will become pure, when they are offered to God, when they are offered to God. So when all that is karma yoga. That is karma yoga again. We do a karma, and if we offer that doing and the fruits also to God, the fruits also, whatever result we get, that also if we offer to God, that is karma yoga. Karma yoga is not abandoning the karmas, doing the karmas, and not having any, that means bondage with the karmas. We have to do the karmas because we have to do. God has given us eyes, we have to see. God has given us ears, we have to hear. So here, in that hearing, in that seeing, in that talking, in that expressing ourselves, how best we can express. So it's not what we say. What we say doesn't give any impact. How we say impacts a person. How we say, how best we say. So that's why the Jagannataka Sutradhari, or Leela Manusha Vigraha, what we call Lord Sri Krishna. So he never abused anybody. He never abused. He was all the time smiling and saying whatever he wanted to say. All the time. He was smiling. His smile itself carries so much. If I can understand his smile. So it's not his looks. Looks means grace. But his smile. Whenever anyone they thought of him that he is very meek and weak, he used to simply smile at their ignorance, which they could not understand. Isn't it? So here karmas we are bound to do, and we have to do. We can't avoid the karmas. But these karmas, if we do it as a yajna, if we do it as a yajnam, and we offer it to God, offer it to God. It's not arpanam, samarpanam. It's not arpanam once again. Arpanam is different from samarpanam. In arpanam there is that means there is we wish for something. We offer something to God and we wish for something. But arpanam, samarpanam is not like sama, totally. Samarpanam, everything. So the fruits, that means the results, the karmas, everything we offer to God. So then they become pure. So then it's worship. In fact, it is worship itself. If we offer at his lotus feet, if we surrender everything at his lotus feet, it is worship. So this is one aspect. But coming to the other thing, chitta vibhrantaha, chitta. So Ramana Maharshi, he said very beautifully, chitta sodhakam mukti sadhakam. Chitta sodhakam mukti sadhakam. So if anyone want moksha, first he must, that means realize himself. He must peep into himself. So what are his thoughts? What are his ideas? What are his actions? What are the motives behind his actions? So all these. Like suppose motive behind the action, let us take an example. If one person he gives a charity, right? And some people they say, oh, he's God, he gives so much of money. Enough. Then again he gives more. That means he's carried away by what the people say that he is God. Mohajala samavritaha. Chitta vibhrantaha. So different kinds of illusions. So here the power, the status, the positions. So in all these, why man will be carried away is because of the eye sense. Because of the eye sense. In Samarpanam, there is no eye sense. So you gave me and I am giving it back to you. I don't want anything. You have given this beautiful life, that itself is enough. I wanted to make it more beautifully. I wanted to make it more spectacularly. I wanted to live my life more spectacularly and surrender at your lotus feet. Every thought, every action, every motto, I will surrender at your lotus feet. That is over. We need not think of anything. Why we need to think of name? Why we need to think of fame? Why we need to think of somebody is going to applaud us? Why we need to think of awards or rewards? What use are there? Everything will disappear into the call, time. So what remains in time? Nothing remains in time. Time is the highest God, greatest God. So when the time comes, all the why this here he is telling us moha jala samavritaha is, so the name, the position, the status, then the whatever power, all these. So actually they bound a man in a cage. They put a man in a cage, and it will be impossible for the man to come out of the cage. How many can he remove when the time comes? When the time comes, it is very difficult for one to break the bonds. Making a bond is easy. Weaving a bond is easy, but to break the bond is very difficult. But actually, in material life, to make an object is very difficult, to break it is very easy. See the difference. See, hats off to Lord. Hats off to Lord. That's why He is Lord. Otherwise, why we will call Him as Lord? Why we will call Him as Krishna? Krish. Now, always happiness, always happy. If we think of Him, we can always be happy. If we surrender to Him, always we can be happy. Because we don't want anything. We don't want anything. Already He has given us so much. Again, why should we should ask Him? What we should ask Him? We didn't ask Him to give us all these. But by our elders' punya or our past births of punya, He has given us. Again, we need not ask Him anything. He knows what He must give. If by asking only if He gives, then everyone will ask. He will be getting per day some billions and billions of applications, which he won't find time also to see, isn't it? So here he gives already according to our karmas. So we need not ask him anything. But if we make bondages with these non-material things like the power, the status, the position, and the applauds, the name, the fame. So all these are different kinds of cages, one bigger than the other. And to break this cage and come out when the time comes, it is very difficult for man, very difficult. That's why I think the great devotees, they made their bondage only with the Lord, because they didn't have anything to break. At the time of leaving, they didn't have anything to break, because they know that the time comes they have to merge with the God. That's the only goal in their life. So if it is not like that, then this chittam itself is always it will be moving this side and that side. It is very difficult to catch hold of Chittam for anyone. It's very difficult because Chittam is bound again by sense organs. Chittam is bound by sense organs, and sense organs they'll be always looking out. They'll be always outside. They never be inside. If we want them to peep inside, we have to chitta nirodha. That chittam we have to control, and that can be controlled only by control of the sense organs. If the sense organs are not controlled, how can we control the chittam? And the chittam is not controlled, it will be always running this side and that side, always running after something, running after name, running after fame, running after status, running after awards, running after applause. So here all these they entangle a man. They bound a man in a cage, which makes the man very difficult for him to come out of the cage when the time comes. And we all know that Jatasya hi dhruvam nityuhu. We don't know when the time comes. When the Lord showers His grace on us. So actually I'm telling this in a different way. So because we must be afraid of life but not of death. Because when a man is born, it is destined that he is going to die one day. And before that last breath, we must think how best we can live our life, how best we can be at the service of others, how best we can do good to the humanity, how best we can weave our life and surrender at the lotus feet of the Lord. Bas patapanchil, all the bondages gets blasted if you surrender at His lotus feet. But this fame name, they are so difficult that person cannot surrender. Once he get a name, all the time his mind will be on the name only. So here, because I sense, the reason is నేను నేను అనేది తీసేస్తే ఇంకేమీ లేదు. ఆ నేనుకే పేరుంది. నేను అనేది లేకపోతే పేరే లేదు. పేరు లేనప్పుడు ఆత్మ అండ్ పరమాత్మ బోత్ ఆర్ సేమ్. దర్ ఇస్ నో డిఫరెన్స్. నేను అనుకున్నప్పుడే ఆ డిఫరెన్స్ కనబడుతుంది. సో నా వల్ల ఇది జరిగింది, బికాస్ ఆఫ్ మీ ఇట్ హ్యాపెండ్ అనేది ఇట్ ఈస్ అ వెరీ బిగ్ కేజ్ బౌండ్. హరి ఓం.